You missed your credit card payment. Maybe it was an accident. Maybe you just didn't have the money. Either way, the clock started the second that due date passed, and what happens in the next 30 days will surprise most people. I spent about 10 years as a branch manager and district manager watching this play out. Today, I'm going to show you exactly what's happening on the bank's side of that missed payment, day by day. If you've ever missed a payment or think you might, this video could save you. A customer I worked with years ago had a $4,200 balance on a card with a $500 minimum payment. He lost a client unexpectedly and couldn't make that payment. He assumed he had a few days of grace, that maybe the bank wouldn't notice right away. What he didn't know is that on the bank system, the second midnight passed on his due date. A flag was set. No phone call yet, no letter, just a quiet internal status change. And that change started a process most cardholders never see. On day one, your account status changes from current to past due. That's an internal flag. It doesn't hit your credit report yet. No one calls you on day one. But here's what does happen. Your account gets tagged in the bank's risk monitoring system. Interest continues to accrue at your full APR, not a late rate, your normal rate on every dollar of that balance. If your APR is 24%, that's about 0.066% per day. On a $4,000 balance, you're adding roughly $260 in interest every single day you don't pay. Most cards have a grace period. Here's what that actually means from the bank side. The grace period is the window between your statement closing date and your due date, typically 21 to 25 days. But once you've missed your due date, the grace period doesn't protect you anymore. What you may have is a payment window, usually around 30 days before a late payment appears on your credit report. This is the critical window. Pay now, in full or at minimum, and you may be able to keep this off your credit file entirely. That's the move most people miss. By day 10, a late fee has been added to your balance, typically $30 to $40 for a first offense, sometimes up to $41. That fee is now part of your balance, which means it's also accruing interest. This is called fee capitalization, and it's one of the ways a single missed payment starts to compound. Your minimum payment next month will be higher. Your utilization has gone up, and if you only pay the new minimum, you're paying off less of the original balance than you were before any of this happened. Here's what I want you to understand from the inside. Banks use automated risk scoring systems that review accounts daily. A missed payment doesn't just sit there, it triggers a series of internal reviews. Your account may be flagged for potential limit reduction. Your account may be flagged for rate review depending on your card agreement. If you have other accounts at the same bank, those can be indirectly affected. None of this gets communicated to you in real time. The bank is watching. You may not know anything is happening until it already has. Before day 30, you still have real options. First, pay the minimum immediately. It stops the clock on the credit reporting window and avoids the 30-day late mark. Second, call the bank and ask about a hardship program. Most major banks have them. They may waive the late fee for a first offense, offer a lower minimum for one cycle, or defer a payment. Ask specifically for the customer assistance or hardship department. Third, if you can't pay and don't call, at least know what's coming so you can prepare. Silence is the worst option. A woman came into my branch on day 27 of a missed payment. She was embarrassed and scared she had already ruined her credit. She hadn't. We called the credit card division together from my office because it was day 27, still inside the 30-day window, and because she had a clean payment history for 4 years before this. The rep waived the late fee and applied her payment same day. It never reported to the bureaus as a late payment. She left with her credit score intact. She told me later she almost didn't come in. Almost. Here is your action step. If you have a missed or at-risk payment right now, call your card issuer today, not tomorrow. Ask 3 things. What is my current status? Can the late fee be waived? And what hardship options do you have available? Write down the rep's name and the date. If you're not in trouble yet, set up autopay for the minimum payment on every card you have. Not because autopay is a long-term strategy, but because it prevents the accidental miss that starts this whole chain. That's the first 30 days, and you now know more about how that window works than most cardholders ever will. But what happens if day 30 passes? What does 60, 90, and 120 days look like? And what is a charge-off? That's what we're covering in the next video in this series. It gets more serious, but it's not hopeless. Knowing how it works is the first step to dealing with it. If this helped you understand something your bank never explained, share it with someone who needs it. Drop a comment and tell me, have you ever called a bank to fight a late fee? I want to hear what happened. Subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss the rest of this series. I will see you in the next video.